As the great Coach Calloway would say, howdy. Now you're probably wondering two things right now. Who the hell is Coach Calloway, and where are my domination tips? And my answer is this. Coach Calloway was a brilliant coach that taught shot put. He had a soul patch and was an incredibly bad teacher. As for the domination tips, you're watching them right now. This is a scrimmage game battles rules domination, which game battles rules is basically, it's a made up variant of basically like no noob tubes, and there's a respawn delay, so you can't just instant respawn, which makes it harder. In this game, I am playing the Mighty Seagouch from the fantasy football videos, and two of his buddies, and they're going up against Rampy and Alex. And I've done a dual comp with both Rampy and Alex. Dual comp is kind of a played out word, I should say. They have guest starred in videos, and I'm just going to be giving general tips through this video. It's not the best one in the world. I don't play that well, but I'm consistently giving callouts and trying to help us get the W. In this video, I hadn't played in a while. This is like my first game back in 2 or 3 days. I played like one warm-up match, so my shot's a little bit off, but it's not terrible, and I'm playing some pretty good people, so it's definitely understandable. So, domination. There's a ton of people that are really good Call of Duty players as far as gun skill goes, but they can't play domination. They don't know how the game type works. Or they think they know how the game type works. They just try to capture as many flags as possible, and that's not the way you do it. The way domination works is there's obviously 3 flags on the map, A, B, and C. 90% of the time, you're going to want to cap A and B or C and B. Why you want to do this is because when you have A and B or C and B capped, and the way you figure that out is obviously you just cap the one when you first spawn, and then if the other spawn is much more advantageous, you want to try to flip it around and take that one. You'll get to know, like, you'll learn which spawns you want to have. It's usually the ones with the best clipping points and the ones with the high ground. Now, if you don't know what clipping is, since this is a tutorial, I will be breaking down some stuff that probably your more veteran Call of Duty players will know, so don't be like, well, I know what clipping was. Clipping is the act of shooting bullets out of your forehead, usually over a solid object that's impenetrable by bullets. And you're probably asking yourself how to shoot bullets out of your forehead. There is no trick. In Call of Duty, the bullets don't come out of your gun, they come out of your forehead. So, you want to try to get advantageous positions on the map and then post up. And there's several things you want to do not to break the spawn trap. Like, you don't want to ADS right at a spawn point, because the game will, if you're ADS at a spawn point, the game will flip the spawn, which is what you don't want when you play domination. When you play domination, you want all the spawns to be predictable, and you want to be able to manipulate them in a way where they have to come at you in order to get to a flag, and you have a very advantageous spot, as you see right here. I'm clipping over this wall. The call out for that wall is the Wings of Redemption wall. It's a great spot. It's a perfect example of why you want the CB combo on this map versus the AB combo. See right there, if I was on Wings of Redemption wall, I would have been able to pick Christian off coming out of spawn. We should have had someone up on middle, but Alex got disconnected because his connection sucks. So that's why we didn't have someone up on middle. Another thing you want to keep in mind is constant communication with your teammates. Whenever you die, you need to tell your teammates where they are. Even if you don't know the callouts, you need to make a best effort to say, okay, he's in this general area. The worst thing you can do is die, and then either not say anything or complain, and then that same person kills your teammate. It all could have been avoided if you had just called him out and told your team where he was, but you didn't. You got salty instead. And we're all guilty of getting angry at the game, especially Modern Warfare 2. But you have to do your best to try to communicate everything you can with your team. Now, this game's pretty close as of now. We have a decent lead, but they have 2 flags and they're all in kind of clustered in the middle of the map, so it's going to be hard to take B. If need be, I have the second part of this best of 3 match and I can upload it, commentary or not. And there might or might not be a third. I don't want to spoil the endings of either match for you. But as you can see in this game, I'm getting a lot of like Type 95 hit markers. Like, this is a game battle's very competitive match, so yes, I'm using the Type 95 rapid fire red dot. Whenever you play a competitive game, you want to use the best setup possible. And I believe my perks are Hardline Pro, Sleight of Hand Pro, Marksman Pro. Marksman Pro is very good on long-range assault rifles. It helps you see them unless they have Assassin, which pisses me off, because Assassin shouldn't counter. Like, it shouldn't counter Recon Pro, it shouldn't counter Marksman Pro. Assassin should just counter, like, heartbeats and UAVs and whatnot. It shouldn't be the end-all, be-all of countering stuff. It should just be, this will keep you off the UAV. And as you can see, they're posted up in a power position on the map, where basically you can't take B, push you through the middle. You can't take B, push you to the left where I just spawned. You have to run all the way down to river and come backside through gates, or you have to cap A, cut your losses, and just basically try to get through, which isn't always bad. If you're locked in your spawn pretty bad, don't be in the mindset of I have to get B, I have to get B. Just go take the other home flag. That way you don't fall too far behind in points. And they're going to cap B right here, their whole team gets on it. Another thing about domination is that you have to control the map and convey with your team where you are. You can't just assume that they know where to go, because the way it works is basically everyone will just get in the biggest power position they can on the map. Everybody will get on, Wings of Redemption wall because it's the best, easiest place to get kills. You have to convey to your team verbally that, we need someone on hill, and we need someone on gates, and we need someone on wall. That way we're basically protecting any way they can come out of spawn. Another basic Call of Duty tip that you can employ is the active cover management, as I like to call it. Now, I'm not encouraging everyone to clip 24/7, but whenever you have the chance, like whenever they're respawning, you need to get in a position of cover, get a couple kills from that position, and move spots, because people love to kill cam pour, and nades aren't as bad in this game, but believe me, in other games, other Call of Duty games, especially 4, if you get a couple kills from one position in the map, especially if you don't have a silencer, you're going to have a nade coming your way. One thing that I see a lot of people do incorrectly is that they'll cap A and B and immediately set up into their power positions. You shouldn't do that. What you need to do is get your flags, your A and B, your C and B, and then kind of clear the area. Get everyone off, have one person set up, get their spawn trap ready, but have the rest of your team continue to kill them and get them respawning. Because if you just get A and B and set up a spawn trap at C, they're going to still be mid-map and around A and B, and you're going to find yourself in a situation where they come back and cap A on you, and you're screwed. This was a really close game the whole time. It's been back and forth, and we're about to blow it open, I think, here with the triple cap, if I remember correctly. Another mistake that I see people make, it's not really so much of a mistake as it's just ignorance. There's maps in Call of Duty called, as I dub them, triangle maps. And what triangle maps are they're maps where there's not really like an advantageous, you see me spraying a corpse there, there's not really like an advantageous A, B, C, B combo. The flags are kind of evenly distributed in a triangle formation around the map. A good example of this is Dome. If you've ever played Dome Domination, you know it's really hard to keep flags, because the best place to actually trap them is at B, in that vacant building. And that's a good example of a triangle map, because if you try to hold an A-B combo or a B-C combo, it's going to be really easy for them to break out because it'll spawn them on top of that other flag. My team's doing a really good job of holding down the fort, and I kind of blow it open here with my kill streaks. Recon drone against 3 people with the respawn timer is very good to say the least, even though I only tagged 1 guy there. The way you want to play a triangle map is you, first of all, identify it, know that it's a triangle map, because 90% of the time A, B, and CB will do you better than just a random combo. Oh, so you need to identify the triangle map and then figure out, is it better for me to have CA here, or, you know, kind of a domination nightmare is like, well, am I just going to be running around trying to, cap a flag and not get triple capped? You'll find yourself getting triple capped a lot in triangle maps because the spawns are harder to control. That was my domination tips, just in general for Call of Duty. That was the end of the match. We pull out a win there. It was really close. It was back and forth. I didn't play the best. Final score was 18-17. We did win. That's all that matters. It was a friendly scrim, but I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all later. It's been Wiley.